Hello, everyone, and welcome to my October tarot forecast. My name is Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and I'm so excited to have you here. I'm really looking forward to pulling some cards for October and seeing what kinds of energies, opportunities, challenges, etc. are on the horizon for us. So I just want to take a moment to let you come in, let you settle, let me know where you're from, say hello. I don't see any comments yet, so I'm just going to, oh, there's a few people here. So I'm just going to wait until some of the comments come in, and I'm just going to babble a little bit about the tarot deck that I'm going to be using um for the monthly forecast for October. Now, I am so excited about October. October is my absolute favorite month. I just feel like there's so many things that I love about October. I love it when the weather starts cooling down. I love all the mist, the fog, the smell of wood smoke in the air. And yes, the pumpkin spice lattes. I love Halloween. I love everything about October. So I'm really, really looking forward to this month. So hello, Lori, welcome. Hello, Brittany, Sandy, hey, Sky Tarots. All right. Okay, so the deck that I've chosen for today's live is the Everyday Witch Tarot, and I thought this would be a good one because I feel like this is a witchy deck. It kind of fits with October. Yeah, so this is the deck that I'm going to be using. And like 2 seconds ago, I designed a kind of a rough spread to use for the month of October. So this is the spread I'm going to be using. Okay, so we're going to look at the general energy of the month of October. We're going to look to see what challenges might come up for us, what's going to help us the most this month, and what our superpowers are this month. Now, of course, this is a general reading. This isn't necessarily specific to you, but hopefully you'll take at least 1 or 2 things that will really resonate with you in the reading. Happy birthday, Kim. I know you said on my Facebook page that it was your birthday today and you're going to be here. So happy birthday. I'll definitely pull a card for you, Kim. In fact, I'll pull a card for you first since it's your birthday. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll start with a general October forecast reading. I'm just going to pull 4 cards, and then I'll open it up to doing 1-card readings for people. And I don't think I'm going to go as long as I usually do. Normally when I do these lives, I go for at least an hour and a half or sometimes a couple of hours. Ooh, I'm blurry. I'll just wait for my camera to unblur. I don't know what happened there. Oh, my camera's confused. I woke up this morning not feeling good. I think I'm coming down with something. I think I'm coming down with a cold or a flu or something. So I may not be in tip-top shape today. So we'll see. I've got my coffee, so that helps. And we'll just see how things go. All right, so I'm just going to give my cards a shuffle. And I want you to think as I'm shuffling my cards, do you have any intentions for October? Do you have anything that you're focused on in October? Anything that you're maybe hoping for this October, or something that you're working on manifesting, or a project that you're working on? Just holding that in your mind, whatever your intentions are for the month of October. And I'm going to actually start by asking the cards if there's going to be any challenge, what the challenges will be this month. Because I mean, every month has its own challenges. It might be something big, might be something tiny, little. But I'm gonna start with the negative. I'm gonna start on a negative note. So I'm gonna ask the cards, what might we find challenging in October? What's the big challenge for October? Okay. So the card that we have is 6 of Swords. All right. So, all So the Six of Swords is a card of transition and movement. And sometimes the Six of Swords represents like actually physically moving to a new location or switching jobs. Um, but it's about moving kind of from one place to another place, not necessarily physically. It could be you're moving away from certain ways of being, living, certain habits into kind of new territory. But there's definitely this energy of change, shift, and transition with this card. And so I think that for some of us, that can be challenging. For some of us, it will feel more invigorating and exciting. But even when change feels positive and exciting, it's also a little bit stressful because you also have to kind of recalibrate. You have to adjust to the changes. And so even if it's good and even if it's you're happy about it and you're excited, it still can be experienced as kind of stressful by your body. And so you may find yourself not sleeping as well certain nights, feeling kind of restless, or just feeling really, really keyed up and kind of excited. So Six of Swords is saying the big challenge this month is that there is this energy of change and shift. And in some ways, you may feel really like this urge to make big changes. And the challenge here, and I'll just hold this card up so you can see it while I'm talking about it. The challenge with the Six of Swords is checking in with yourself. So when you get that urge to make a big change, so whether it's like you have this urge to just quit your job and do something different, or end a relationship, or move locations, or whatever it is that you're wanting to switch up, check in with yourself first and ask yourself, is this coming from a place of like just truly being ready to change and ready for something new? Or is it coming from a place of avoidance? Because sometimes we make changes just to like avoid certain things. Like some people will move around a lot, or they'll always be getting a different job. And it's because they've created, I want to say, created hell for themselves at their current job. And now they just want to leave. And they think that the problem is everything else. They think the problem is everything in their life, not them. And so then they want to change everything and think, well, that will be great. I'll change everything. But wherever you go, you take yourself with you. And that's kind of the challenge of the Six of Swords, is that wherever you go, you take yourself with you. So when you're wanting to make changes and transition to something different or something new, just check in with yourself and make sure that's coming from a place of just wanting to experience something new, being ready for change, and not trying to avoid something. Yeah. Bearborne says, this card always makes me feel like letting go and flowing downstream. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so a few more people have arrived. So hello, Robin from Ohio and Josh from Arizona. Welcome, everyone. Beyond Biblical Belief from Central Pennsylvania. Hello. Okay, so Six of Swords, that was the challenge card for October. I'm just going to come back to the deck here. Let's have a look at what are we going to find most helpful this month? What is going to help us the most in October? And I need my sip of coffee here. Does anyone here watch the Y-Files, by the way? On YouTube? It's a YouTube channel. It's really fun. Just curious if there's any other fans of the Y-Files here. Hello, Paula from Arizona. All right. So drawing a card, what is going to help us the most in October? 10 of Swords. All right, lots of swords so far. So 10 of Swords. I just have to get it so the light is good. So 10 of Swords is what's going to help us. Now, this is interesting because I think we don't necessarily think of the Ten of Swords as being a positive card, as being like a helpful card, but in this case, it is. So, what is going to help us the most in October? Two things. Okay, so one thing that the Ten of Swords makes me think of is healing. So, this person clearly is in need of healing. They've got 10 swords stuck in their back. And sometimes the Ten of Swords can represent feeling kind of stuck. And so if you find yourself feeling stuck or feeling powerless, feeling like you're grasping for something and it's just out of reach, like the person in this card, this is what's going to help you in October. So healing. Let's talk about let's talk about healing. The Ten of Swords can symbolize, like, it can bring up something that needs to be healed. And sometimes when we get to a place where we're really feeling stuck and we're really feeling frustrated and we're really feeling like we're just on the cusp of giving up and like throwing in the towel, that is the moment to ask, okay, what here needs to be healed? Is there something within me that's getting churned up, that's getting stimulated, that is looking for some healing, that is looking for a little bit of TLC? And there's so many different ways, there's so many different things that could represent different things that need healing, different ways to go about it. And I'll leave that with you. But this card is saying that the one thing that's going to help you this October is to focus on healing some of the things that you need to heal. Now, because this is the suit of swords, and the suit of swords is associated with the mind and with thoughts and beliefs and kind of our mental state and our mental processes, it may signify healing something in the mind. It could be like a perspective that you have, a belief that you have about yourself, something kind of mind related, possibly. The other thing I get with this card is it's so tempting, I think, when we look at this card, to see the person in the red cape who's retreating as being, and I'll wait till my camera focuses on this card. Here we go. Okay. So it's so tempting to see that person in the red cape as being the perpetrator and the person deserving of all the blame. And I just want you to put yourself in the shoes of the woman with the swords in her back. We kind of assume that the person in the red cape stabbed her in the back and is running away. We don't know for sure if that's what's going on in this card, but I think that's kind of what we sort of assume. And when I look at this card, it's saying to as much as you can, moving away from blame. And there's sort of like a victim mentality with the Ten of Swords. And I'm trying to think how to navigate this, because that's kind of the theme of the Ten of Swords. This person is a victim. Someone stabbed them in the back. Someone's betrayed them. They aren't just stuck because of something they've done. It may involve another person. But as long as they just blame that person, they may never be free. And that's the message of the Ten of Swords. As long as they are always blaming everything on someone else, they will never be free. And so that might be something to ponder. That might be something that might help you move forward this October. Okay. I'm just going to look at some of the comments here. Beyond Biblical Belief says, yeah, I love Hecklefish. I know, me too. And Josh, you like the Y-Files as well. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just shuffle my deck again. Let's have a look at the overall general energy of the month of October. Now, what I find kind of interesting, just comparing these two cards, this was the challenges. This is what will be helpful for us. I feel like the main character looks like it's the same person here. Okay. So the general overall energy of October. So I'm actually going to draw two cards for this question. So the first card I'm going to randomly draw. Okay, so the first card is King of Cups. And then the next card I have chosen by adding up the numbers of the month of October and this year. So this month or next month will be October, which is the 10th month. And I'm going to add that number 10 to the year 2024. And when I do that, so it's 10 plus 2024 adds up to 8, plus 1 is 9. And that corresponds with the Hermit tarot card. So I'm just going to quickly find the Hermit in the deck. So I see the Hermit as kind of being the general card of the month for October, which I love. I love Hermit energy. I love that. And then the card that we've drawn is the King of Cups. So I'm going to kind of read those two cards together once I find the Hermit card. So the Hermit to me is like the perfect, here we go. It's the perfect October energy. The Hermit is all about going inward. Oh gosh, my camera is really slow today. It's like, it's not picking up the details very well. It's not focusing. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay. So the Hermit is all about going inward, having some sort of spiritual practice that helps you like just connect to your inner space, connecting to the divine. I feel like, so reality has kind of, our day-to-day reality has sort of two modes or two sections. So there's the busyness, there's all the stuff, there's all the activity. There's a word for that. Maya is the word. So there's like, all the stuff that we encounter in a day, all the activity, all the thoughts, all the people, all the busyness. And then there's this backdrop that holds all of that. And it's this, almost like this void, this like black void, not in a scary way, in like a comforting way. It's like a comforting, warm, loving blanket of darkness that just holds everything. It's the backdrop. And the Hermit is about kind of removing your attention from all the stuff, all the thoughts, all the activities, and tapping into that warm, cozy, soft, black blanket of nothingness. And that can be a really powerful practice. So that's what I get with the Hermit. So definitely this month, it's going to be important to carve out some alone time, some time for contemplation, some time for meditation, some time for journaling, definitely time alone this month. And then we also have the King of Cups. So this was the card I randomly drew as the overall general energy of the month of October. And I think that these two cards go together really well. So the King of Cups, he is all about, he's also kind of an introverted card. He's very good at going inward and communing with his emotions and feelings. And he's really good at sitting with his feelings, his emotions, really tapping into them. He sees he sees the emotional realm of feelings, of intuition, of emotions. He sees that as the most exciting thing. So he loves that. And he sees that as the most interesting thing. This is the kind of guy who, you probably know people like this in your life who want to know how you're feeling and what what your feelings are on something. Like they really care about that, because that to them is the most interesting thing. And so this King of Cups, he's so good at meeting himself where he's at and exploring his feelings, because with every emotion, with every feeling, with every feeling is a message. And he's really good at teasing out that message. Like, what is this emotion telling me? And sometimes your intuition can speak to you through feeling, but other times your feeling is just telling you something about yourself. So this is again kind of an introspective card, and it's about working with feelings and emotions. And this also is somewhat introspective, but in a different sort of way. Yeah, so definitely October is a good kind of month for introspection. Okay, I'm just going to read some comments here. All right. Um, okay. Okay, so Brittany says, where does adding up the numbers of a date for tarot come from? Okay, so I got the idea from, it's a Mary K. Greer book, and she talks about this in a few of her books, but the one that I'm reading right now is called Who Are You in the Tarot by Mary K. Greer. And I think she also discusses this in her other book, Tarot for Yourself. But basically, there's different kind of exercises where you can add up all the numbers in your birth date to find your birth card or personality card, and then adding up the numbers in the year to find your year card, or you add to find your year card, you would add your birth date to the upcoming year or the current year. So you would have your birth, so the month you were born, the day you were born, and then instead of the year you were born, it would be this year. You'd add up all those numbers, and that's your year card. And that's supposed to be kind of like what your year, your challenges this year, the energy of this year for you. Anyway, so I recently did a video where I talk about kind of adding up the numbers in the date of today. So it's each day's date and then finding the corresponding card. And that's kind of that's been my daily tarot practice lately. And it's a lot of fun. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw one more card and then I'm going to open it up to doing one card readings. So last card I'm going to draw, I'm going to ask what superpowers will be kind of at our fingertips this month. We all have certain gifts and abilities. So this is just a very general card. In fact, no, I'm going to ask, how can we best tap into our superpowers? That's a better question. So how can we find and use our special gifts and abilities, our superpowers this month? Ooh, the Emperor. All right. So what I find interesting about this card, and I'll talk about the Emperor in general, but what I'm noticing is that at his feet right here is a scroll, and it looks like there's like, what do you call those? It looks like it's a map of the stars. That's what I'm thinking. And it's making me think of astrology. And so I think that learning a little bit about astrology and what your astrological gifts are for your sign might be helpful this month. Sometimes we need a little reminder about what our gifts are. But I think that for starters, the Emperor is a little bit of a rebel. So he does things his way, and sometimes his way is unconventional. Sometimes it's very conventional, but other times it's very outside the box. And he is so good at staying true to himself and doing things his way, even if it seems wild at the time. Sometimes this works for him, sometimes it doesn't, but this is his this is his gift, is doing things his way. And when he has a vision or an idea of how things should be done, he's really good at sticking to that and seeing it through, even if it's kind of outside the box, even if it means blazing a trail and doing his own thing. That's what he does. And so when it comes to accessing your superpowers this month, when it comes to tapping into your unique skill set, your unique gifts, your unique genius, you have to be a bit of a rebel. You have to be willing to go outside the box sometimes and ignore the naysayers. It might require blazing a trail in some way. And the Emperor he's a little bit stubborn, but ultimately he's very independent. He's very independent. And again, leaning into your independent side and your independent nature is what is going to help you access your unique gifts. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So, so these are the cards. I'm going to hold them all up. These are the cards for October. We've got Six of Swords, which was change, transition. 10 of Swords is saying, don't identify with being a victim too much, not indefinitely anyway. And what else did I say? Oh yeah, healing. This is about healing. 10 of Swords is about healing. And then we have the Hermit and King of Cups, which I said was about kind of going inward, introspection, time alone. And then the Emperor, which is about leaning into your independent side in order to access your unique gifts. All right. So let's shuffle the cards. I'm going to open it up for one card readings. If anyone has any questions about anything I've said so far, feel free to post in the comments. But if anyone wants me to draw a card for them, and I think I promised, is it Kim? Someone's birthday is today. And if she is still here, I realize I talk about these cards for almost half an hour. I don't normally spend that long on the monthly reading, but I did. So Kim, I think it's Kim. It's your birthday today. If you're still here, Kim, send me a little message in the comments, post in the comments, and I will draw you a card to start since you're the birthday girl. Okay. So let's see. We haven't heard from Kim yet. So I'm thinking Kim might have checked out. So I'll pull a card for someone else. And Kim, if you are here, just post in the chat and I'll pull a card for you. But I'm going to pull a card for Josh. So Josh's question, and let's see if I can put it on the screen here. Okay, I have been dealing with a health challenge for quite a few years now, and am wondering what would be the best thing to focus on this next year to facilitate more healing. All right. Okay, what card does Josh need to see right now? Ooh, Seven of Swords. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit juicy. So Seven of Swords, I often say that this is the card about authenticity and truthfulness. I feel like this card aligns with your throat chakra and that ability to speak your truth fearlessly. And so sometimes when the Seven of Swords comes up, it represents feeling like you can't do this in a free way, feeling like you have to watch your words, you have to bite your tongue, you have to kind of tiptoe around, you've got to walk on eggshells. It's that feeling like I can't be who I am. I can't totally expand outwards. I have to stay small so that I don't rock the boat, so that I don't upset people. And so when this card comes up, it's often an invitation to walk more boldly, to start speaking up for yourself, to start speaking your truth. And if that feels terrifying, if that feels scary, you can start small. You can start with something small. You don't have to just immediately, expand and be who you are like all of a sudden. You can start small. You can take baby steps. And Kim, I see you're here. Okay, good. I'll pull a card for you next. So yes, so that's what the Seven of Swords is all about. So to answer your question, what should I focus on this next year to facilitate more healing? Seven of Swords is saying, like, how can you be more yourself? How can you be more true to who you are? How can you be more authentic in your interactions with others? How can you speak your truth more? How can you expand? Focus on what would help you expand rather than contract? Like when we are ourselves, when we're our authentic selves, when we can just be who we are, there's a feeling of expansiveness and growth and freedom with that. And when we feel like, oh no, I've got to be this other version of myself to keep others happy, or so that I don't upset others, there's like a contractive energy there. So this is what this card is all about. So that's some stuff for you to contemplate, some food for thought, Josh. So I hope that resonates, and thank you for asking your question. And good luck on your healing journey this next year. Okay, so Kim, it's your birthday. Okay, so I'm gonna do this card for you, Kim, and I'm just gonna put your name on the screen. I'm just scrolling up to your first comment here. Oh, I can't find it now. Where is it? Okay. There we go. Okay, so Kim, I'm going to draw a card for you. I'm going to draw a birthday card for you. And I'll just draw like a general kind of a birthday card. What the tarot wants you to know on your birthday and your year ahead. All right, so what card does Kim need to see right now? Knight of Wands. All right. Okay, I'm excited that this is the card that's come up for you as your kind of birthday card. So the Knight of Wands is actually a card of adventure. It's also a card of challenge, but not challenge in a crappy way. Challenge in an exciting way. So this knight on this card, his quest is perhaps to slay this dragon. Or maybe he doesn't want to slay the dragon. Maybe he just wants to meet the dragon and have a conversation with him or be friends with the dragon. Who knows? Who knows what his intentions are? I like to think he's not trying to slay the dragon, but this idea of slaying the dragon is just like a symbol of like overcoming something or achieving something. The mountain in this card represents some sort of a goal and a quest. And so this is what's going to be helpful for you this year as you're entering this. I'm not sure how old you're turning, but this next year for you, Kim, having some sort of quest or a mission or a focus, something to focus your energy and attention on is going to be really helpful for you, because the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands shows that this will be a year where you may have an increase in energy. And if you don't focus that energy on something, it can make you feel like you're going crazy. Like you can feel really scattered and kind of stressed out and overwhelmed. But if you have something to focus that energy on, your year will go much more smoothly and more productively. And be open to adventures this year. The King of Wands has this way of approaching life where he sees everything as an adventure. Everything is an experience to be had. There's something that he can learn from every situation and experience. And there is this real innate curiosity with the Knight of Wands. And he loves new experiences. He loves adventure. And so this may be the ticket to you for you this year. If you're feeling in any way stagnant or uninspired or kind of stuck, is like, how can you have some new experiences that you've never had before? So that could be doing something you've never done, going somewhere you've never been, meeting people you've never met. Like, how can you introduce some newness into your life? It may even be something as easy as like reading a book on a topic that you don't know anything about. Just bringing in that energy of newness. So really great card. And I love that this was the card that you got, Kim. So thank you for letting me read for you. All right. Oh, hello, Divine Guidance, Renew. Thank you. That's such a sweet comment. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm glad you're liking them. All right. Okay, so Sheila has a question. After adding month, day, year, how do you figure out which suit? Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just the major arcana that you're using. But if you get a major arcana card that is within 1 to 10, then you can actually look at the minor arcana cards that correspond with that number. So yeah, so if you get a number that is 10 or below, then if you want to make it complicated, you can also look at all the minors of that number if you want. But I just stick to the majors. Okay, so Kim, you're turning 61. Awesome. I've heard 60 is the new 20. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just know a lot of people in their 60s. And it seems like people in their 60s are like, it's almost like I feel like I know a lot of people in their 60s and it's almost like they're teenagers again. Like they're like starting like this new phase, and a lot of them seem to have like way more energy than I have. And I'm like, how is this possible? Why do you have way more energy than me and you're like 20 years older? I clean at a animal rescue place, and it's all volunteers, and a lot of the volunteers are in their 60s and 70s because they're retired. And so I'm usually cleaning with people that are way older than me, and they are so much more energetic than me. And I'm like, I'm bending over and sighing and like having to stop and rest because it's quite physical. And they're like, why are you sighing? You're like in your 40s. How are you tired? And I'm not. Yeah, Robin, you said we don't have the worries you do. Happily retired, enjoying grandkids. Yeah, exactly. All right. So, Chris, you said, I wasn't sure if you saw my question above. I'm on a physical healing journey and was wondering what could help. Okay, lots of questions about healing, which is so interesting because I talked about healing with the 10 of Swords, although I didn't really talk about physical healing with that card, but it could totally represent that. Okay, I'm just going to put your thing up on the... So, Chris, I don't think I saw your other comment. I'm just going to scroll up. Okay, I'm going to put your other one up. Okay. What can help me on my healing journey? I've been on this very difficult path for about a year. Thank you. Okay. So, Chris, you got the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, there's good things about this card. There's not so good things. It's what I would call kind of a neutral card. So with the last card, oh no, it wasn't the last card. It was the card before that that I was talking about. And I was talking about, feeling expansive versus feeling contractive. The Four of Pentacles, I would say, is more of a contractive card. So the guy on this card, he's sitting on his chest of money. He's in a locked room. There is this energy of like needing to kind of contract. And sometimes we need to do that, like, especially if you're on a healing journey. And there is something that happens if you're ill or you're physically injured, where you do have to kind of contract your energy, because that's kind of how you heal. You've got to kind of pull back from things and kind of isolate a little bit so that you have the space to heal and you have a little more quiet time. So that's one thing. So with the Four of Pentacles, I get a couple of different messages with this card. I'm going to be honest. So the one message is that sort of going inward and the Four of Pentacles is what I call like a conservative card, like conserving your energy, conserving your time, conserving your money, not being so freewheeling with your time, your energy, your attention. So being really cognizant, being really aware of how you spend your time, your money, your energy, your thoughts, etc. So really being conservative, conserving some of that. That's one thing that is going to be helpful for you, is not trying to do everything, not trying to be too busy, kind of conserving things. So that's number one. I feel like you kind of probably know this already. The other thing I get with this card, though, is it's like there's also this desire for expansion with this card. There's a desire for getting out of this room and going off and exploring. There is this simultaneous desire to contract, to conserve your energy, but you also want to expand. You also want to get out there. You also want to have experiences. You also want to grow, etc. And so sometimes when the Four of Pentacles comes up, it's because there's something that you want to share with the world that you're not. There's something that you want to maybe explore or experience. There's a part of you that you want to share with others, but you're not. You're feeling like you got to keep that to yourself. So, and I don't know if you like journaling, Chris, if that's your thing, but something to journal about and something to contemplate is, what part of myself do I want to share with others? And this might be sharing a talent or a gift or helping people in some way. It could be sharing what's on your mind or something like that, or your ideas. There's many different ways that we share ourselves with others. But just thinking about that, and there's something in figuring that out. There's something healing in doing that. And, oh, did I just, something weird happened. Okay. For some reason, Suzanne's comment is on the thing. We're also battling the hormonal swings that make life more of a challenge. Okay. I don't know how that one. I agree, Suzanne. I agree. I just want to find the original. I think I must have like hit a button or something. Okay. I'm going to put Chris's thing back. Wasn't sure if you saw my question. Physical healing journey. Okay. What could help you in your physical healing journey? Okay. So I said two things. So one was kind of like conserving your energy, contracting, kind of, he's inside, spending more time at home, just like having more downtime is one thing, kind of conserving your energy as much as you can. Alone time, that's one thing that will help. But then the other thing, which sounds like a contradiction, but it isn't, is thinking about like, how do you want to share yourself with the world or with those around you? And getting clear on that is going to be helpful for you on this journey in some way. I'm not exactly sure how, but maybe journaling about that, contemplating that might help you in some way. So thank you so much for your question, Chris, and best of luck to you on that physical healing journey. And be gentle with yourself. Be patient, be gentle with yourself. And hopefully you can give us an update next time I go live. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down here. Okay, K Mama, I would like to know if I'm on the right path in my life. All right. The Tower. Okay. So first of all, I'll say, and I'll just put your question on the thing here. First of all, I want to say, I don't think we can ever be on the wrong path in life. Although I think that like your intuition is constantly giving you guidance about what kinds of decisions to make, where to put your focus, what direction to go in. And sometimes we ignore our intuition and we do what we think we're supposed to do or what other people want us to do. And so then that feels like we're on the wrong path, and there'll be something that feels wrong about that. But even when we do that, we're not on the wrong path. We're still learning about ourselves. You're still learning from those experiences. So I don't think that we are ever on the wrong path, but sometimes it feels like we are because we're not really listening to our intuition. Okay, so you got the Tower. Now this is an interesting version of the Tower because we see this tower that's smoldering, that's just been destroyed. And then the witch that's in the foreground, she has her sparkling magic wand and she's smirking. So we know that she did this. And it kind of makes me think, like, if I look over my own life and I think of all the tower moments, those moments where I feel like I've had the rug ripped out from under me, or I've lost a job, or something just came crumbling down, I can see that I had a major part in orchestrating that behind the scenes without really realizing it. And so I think that sometimes we create, in some ways, we create our own tower moments and our own little disasters, as a way to facilitate change for ourselves. So, how does this relate to your question, though? I think the tower is saying you're in the driver's seat of your life. You're in the driver's seat. And if you don't like what you've built up, you can always kind of start from scratch again if something feels off to you. But that wasn't your question. Was, I would like to know if I'm on the right path in my life. And I know there's some people here that will be saying, like, oh, the tower means no, that you're not on the right path. I think often when we're on the wrong path, if it feels like we're on the wrong path, subconsciously we find a way to kind of destroy things so that we have to build from the ground up. Like, I see, when I look back over my life, I see ways where I was continuing down a path that was no longer helpful for me. And I can see ways that I orchestrated things to kind of blow up and crumble so that I could kind of start fresh and do something else, especially with jobs and things like that specifically. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think how to answer this in a succinct way. I don't know if anything that I've said is helpful. Just that I think that you always have that power to create change when you feel the time is right. Um, okay, a question I have for you, K Mama, is if you could wave a magic wand and let's just say you're this witch on the card and you wave a magic wand and everything in your life just kind of comes crumbling down. So everything is gone. All those structures, all those habits, everything, it just comes crumbling down. And now you have the chance to rebuild everything from the ground up. How would you rebuild things? Like, what things would you keep? So what things are in your life right now that you would want to rebuild just as they are right now because you love them and that's how you want things to continue? And what things would you change? And would you change them drastically? Like, what new things would you build? What things would you not bother rebuilding in your life? That's a really illuminating question, I think. If you had to rebuild your life from the ground up, what would you do differently? And then comparing that with what you have now and seeing, how different those two things are. And I think if the picture of how you would rebuild things is totally different from what you have now, then I would say things need to change. But if it's really close, then I would say, yeah, you're on the right path. Keep going. So that's my advice with that card. Thank you so much for your question. And I do want to mention here that even though I'm doing one card readings for specific people here, I do think that all of us here who are watching are meant to see these cards as well. So these readings, while I'm doing them for specific people, I'm really reading for everyone. So I think we can all kind of take a message from each card that you see today. Okay, so I just need a quick coffee break here. All right, Billy, you said thank you for your court card cheat sheet. Oh, thank you, Billy. I'm glad you downloaded it. You pulled the King of Cups as your card to focus on today. Yeah, if anyone wants my court card cheat sheet, I'm going to put the link on how you can get that in the comment section. So just give me one quick second. I'm just going to grab it. So I created a cheat sheet to help you with court cards. And I'm just going to find the link here. Here we go. And I'll post this link in the chat. All right, posting right now. So that is your free court card cheat sheet, and you can download. It will put you on my mailing list. So then you'll get emails from me about stuff, but you can always unsubscribe if you. I'm not too annoying with emails and stuff. Oh, don't. Hey, girl. My foster kitty just jumped on my desk. I'll show her to you. Hold on. Hey, pretty girl. Her name's Rhea. Hey, Rhea. She's really sweet. I've had her for a really long time, and she's finally ready for adoption. She had some health issues, and she took a long time to tame down, but she's finally ready for adoption. And I'm gonna have a really hard time letting her go because I really have fallen in love with her. Okay, do you ever drink butter coffee? Half teaspoon of butter. No, I think I've tried like MCT oil in my coffee. I don't know if I've ever tried butter. I've tried different oils in coffee. I didn't like it. I hated it. I know people really love it, but I like oat milk in my coffee, and I mix oat milk and cream. So that's what I do. All right. So Teresa, I'm going to do a reading for Teresa. Is it time to get my own animal to be full with my new path and life? All right. So this is kind of a timing question. All right, Teresa. So the card I have for you is Six of Cups. Okay. Yes, it's time. So it's funny when people ask me a timing question like this, kind of a yes, no question, sort of. I rarely get a card where I'm like, oh yeah, I can say with 100% certainty. But this card shows someone helping someone else. And I feel like this guy who's doing the giving, or actually I don't know who's doing the giving. Maybe it's the shorter person's doing the giving. But I feel like this is about a helping relationship, helping someone out. And I feel like this is you helping an animal, giving an animal a great life. So I totally feel like now is a good time for you to get an animal and be full with your new path and your new life. Six of Cups is showing that you have a lot to offer, whether that is a lot to offer an animal that you want to bring into your home, or those in other people in your life. I feel like you have a lot to offer in terms of kind of lending a helping hand, giving advice, things like that. Yeah, this is definitely like a warm, fuzzy, friendly card. I call this like the friendly card, the helping card, the friendship card. So yes, I feel like it's a good time for you to take that step. All right. Thank you for your question, Teresa. And I'm curious, what kind of an animal are you going to get? Are you going to do a dog, a cat, something else, a ferret? I'm curious. All right. Oh, I like this question. What is it that I'm missing right now with a challenge that I've had for a while? Bearborne. All right. Strength. Okay, so one thing I want to say before I start talking about this card, because I just thought of this and I'm going to forget it. If you're watching, if you're here right now and you're watching, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed. And if you click on the notifications bell, you'll be notified whenever I go live. So I usually do a little reminder the day before or a couple days before I'm going to go live. And whenever I have events happening, like a workshop or something like that, you'll be notified of that too. So make sure you click on the notifications bell if you want to get notifications. Okay, so we have number 8 in the major arcana, and this is strength. So what is missing right now with a challenge I've had for a while? Okay, the thing with strength, and I'll kind of explain why I'm going to say this, but just look at how the woman on this card is treating the lion. The lion represents the challenge, the thing that you have that's challenging you. And the woman is representing how you need to interact with that challenge or how to treat that challenge, how to overcome that challenge. She is being so gentle and kind and respectful to that lion. She has tamed this lion, but she isn't forcing this lion in any way. She isn't dominating this lion. There's no forcefulness here. She's being very, very gentle. Now, I had, and I already talked about this in another video, so some of you may have heard this story already, but I had a challenge a couple days ago. I had to take my foster kitty, Rhea, to the vet. So I had to give her a pill to kind of calm her down. It's a gabapentin, kind of calms them down. And I had to put her in a carrier. And those are two things that are very challenging to do with this cat. And I first tried to force the pill down her throat by kind of grabbing her, and that did not work at all. She did not cooperate. And so then I just sat back and she came towards me, and I have this like long, skinny pencil-like thing that's a pill shooter. So the pill goes in one end, and then there's like a little button on the end that kind of shoots the pill into their mouth. And so I had this pill shooter just sitting on my lap, and she came and she picked up the end of it with her teeth and just kind of started gnawing on the end. And so I just pressed the button and the pill went to the back of her throat, and she didn't even notice that it had happened. She swallowed the pill. I was like, wow, that was so easy compared to, trying to force the pill down her throat. So what this card is telling you is that with this challenge that you've had, you aren't going to overcome this challenge by forcing things or being forceful. So willpower doesn't really come into it. And I don't know what this challenge is, but being forceful or using willpower isn't going to get you far. That's actually going to just make things even harder. But being gentle and being like this woman in this card, so being very soft, being very gentle, and I don't know if this challenge is an inner challenge that you have, or a challenge with another person, but whatever it is, ask yourself, how can I be more gentle and more coaxing with this challenge? How can I be kind to myself or to, if there's others involved, how can I really be kind and gentle? And it's almost like this challenge will respond to gentle coaxing as opposed to brute force. That's what I'm getting with this card. So I hope that made sense. All right. Okay. I'm just going to scroll up. All right, I'm going to do this one. Okay. I would love a card for guidance regarding the role of music in my professional life. Okay. And Seer Swaro, I just see your question here. It says, have you ever considered doing personal readings or one-on-one sessions? Yes. So I've been doing one-on-one readings for many, many years now, but I only do them a couple times a year. So in January, I offer private readings, and in the summer, usually July and August, I offer private readings. And the rest of the year, I focus on teaching workshops, courses, and creating content for my YouTube channel. All right. Okay, so let's draw a card here. A card for guidance regarding the role of music in my professional life. Okay, we have 8 of Cups. So, guidance regarding the role of music. I'm just going to talk about this card in a general way first. So that's what I do. For those of you watching who also read tarot, sometimes when someone asks a really specific question and you pull a card, sometimes you just won't know what to say about that card in that specific context. So that's what's happening to me right now. So what I do then is I just talk about the card in a general way and then get more specific as I'm talking about it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So with 8 of Cups, what I'm getting here, 8 of Cups is actually about walking away from something and knowing when to walk away from something, when to kind of go in a different direction, when to kind of cut your losses. And the 8 of Cups can come up when I feel like my card is still super blurry. Okay, let's see. There we go. I feel like this card can come up when we're at a place in life where we don't want to just go through the motions. You know, we want things to have meaning and be meaningful. And in your case, you're saying you want guidance regarding the role of music in my professional life. I think when it comes to your professional life, your work has to have a deeper meaning for you. And perhaps music is one way of accessing that depth and that sense of meaning. So with the 8 of Cups, there is a sense of change and kind of changing directions, going on like a new path with this card, like kind of leaving something behind and going off in search of that thing that you feel is missing. So if you've been feeling like something is kind of missing a little bit in your professional life, like you're kind of looking for that missing key, that missing puzzle piece or whatever, perhaps music and incorporating music is one of those ways that you can kind of fill that void or find that deeper meaning. There's almost like a connection. There's something about music for you that allows you to express your soul's essence, to really express your personality. Not just personality, but it's like music is your way of connecting to the divine. We all have different things. Some of us, it's like visual art is our way of connecting to the divine, or dance or something like that. But for you, the big one is music. That is one powerful way that you can connect to the divine and that divine soul essence that you have. And so that is kind of your way of weaving in that divine kind of energy, that extra magic soul energy into the work that you do. So the role of music in your professional life, it kind of brings a sense of like soulfulness and that special spark to your professional life. So that's what I'm getting with 8 of Cups. All right. Lots of questions. Okay, I'm just reading through all these. Lots of good ones. Yeah, and Danny baby, you said when you read the card generally the answer comes to you. That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Chris, you said, "I love your honesty about when you don't see a clear answer. This is so helpful as I see so many readers that seem to know it all and I feel poorly about myself in relation to them. Yeah. So honestly, like this happens all the time when I'm reading for people, especially when there's like a specific question. I would even say most of the time when I turn over a card, initially I'm like, I don't know where to go with this. I don't know what to say. That's my default experience when I'm doing readings. It's exciting when I turn over a card and I know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm like, oh, the cards are speaking so clearly. I know exactly where to go with this. I love that, but that doesn't always happen. Most of the time, that doesn't. Um, so yeah, having ways to navigate the confusion when you're doing a reading is really important. And I think just expecting that the cards aren't going to initially make sense is important too. All right. Oh, I'm finished my coffee. One more sip. Okay. I'm starting to get the chills now. I'm starting to get kind of feverish. I think I actually might be coming down with COVID because my husband said that at work everyone's got COVID, and so I think he's maybe brought home some. Even though he's not sick, I think he's maybe brought home some germs or something because I like really haven't been anywhere or done anything exciting. So I really shouldn't be coming down with a cold. I always hate that when I start coming down with a cold. I'm like, I haven't even done anything or been anywhere. Like, how am I getting sick? Okay, so Robin, okay, your question got lost above. All right, so I'm gonna put yours up here. I'm traveling most of October and will be seeing old friends that I haven't seen in years. What wisdom do I need for this journey, road trip, and the reunion? Okay. All right, Robin. Eight of Swords. Okay, so again, I'm like, I don't know what this means. I don't know where to go with the Eight of Swords for this question, so I'm just going to start talking. So the Eight of Swords is actually about feeling limited or feeling kind of stuck, but it's also about not having an accurate picture of how things actually are. So it's clear that the woman on this card feels totally stuck, but as we look at this card, we realize the outside viewer realizes that she's not stuck. Like she can easily get unstuck. Those swords are not keeping her there. She can just get up and walk away. And her hands are tied, sure, but that doesn't stop her from lifting the blindfold and walking away. So she's not as limited as she's making out to be or as she thinks that she is. And so this can represent like not having an accurate picture of who you are or how others see you. So thinking that others see you one way when really they don't. And this could be like thinking others see you as being less powerful or thinking others see you as being a loser or being a certain way, but in reality, it might be like the exact opposite. So that's kind of the message I get with this card is sometimes how we see ourselves is not how others see us. And sometimes the way we see ourselves is actually way more negative than how others see us. Now, for the longest time, I've always seen myself as being an underachiever and being not very productive and not really, yeah, just being like an underachiever. And I remember I worked with this woman and whenever I would tell her what I was up to, what I was doing, and I remember saying like, "Oh yeah, I built my own website and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," and she was always like, "Oh, you are such a go-getter," and I'm like, "What?" Like I always think of myself as being like the exact opposite of a go-getter, but she would always say that she's like, "You're such a go-getter. You're such a go-getter," and I was like, maybe I am. Like, why do I see myself as being the opposite when this person sees me as being this go-getter? So that's kind of what the Eight of Swords is telling you. And I think that you're seeing friends that you haven't seen in years. And what wisdom do I need for this journey? I think that this is the wisdom is that how you see yourself is not how others see you. Others may see you as being way more impressive and more capable than you see yourself. So that's the first thing that I get. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I wanna add there, just that. So hopefully that hopefully that makes sense, Robin. Hopefully that resonates, and thank you for your question, and good luck with your road trip, and I hope you have fun, reuniting with old friends. That's cool. All right. Um, all right, so I'm gonna do this one. Am I with the person that is best for me? And I'm surprised no one's commented on my UFO earrings, or maybe someone has and I missed it, but I really thought that these earrings were a great find. I found them in a craft store. The person who owned the craft store makes them, and I just thought they were so cool. And I don't normally wear big earrings, and I just thought these were so cool. And when I got home, my husband was like, "Those are so dumb. I can't believe you're going to wear them." And then I was like, "Oh, I've definitely made the right choice in buying these earrings." Definitely wear them on our next date night. Oh, Danny Baby said I was trying to figure out what the earrings were. Yeah, maybe it's not. They kind of look like mushrooms, right? It kind of looks like a weird mushroom. It's a UFO. It's a UFO with like laser beams or light beams. All right. Okay, so am I with the person that is best for me? Okay, so beyond biblical belief, I'm going to draw a card. What card do you need to see regarding this issue? And you got 9 of Cups. Okay. So, there's a few things I want to say about 9 of Cups. So, one of the things with 9 of Cups, and this version doesn't make me think of this. So I'll go into what this version does make me think of. But one thing I often say about the 9 of Cups is the 9 of Cups can symbolize achieving what you thought you wanted, but then feeling like something is kind of off or something is kind of missing, or feeling like, oh, that didn't bring me what I thought it would. Like when you strive, like for example, in your case, maybe you've, always really wanted a relationship, and now you have a relationship and you're like, "Oh, but it's not what I thought it would be." It's not what I thought this would be like or whatever, which might be why you're thinking, is this person the best person for me?" So, okay. So, as I look at this version of the 9 of Cups, what I get here, eh, interesting. Okay. So, the woman on this card is Zen. She's very Zen-like. She's meditating, and she's just built this sand castle in the background, and she spent a long time building it, and it looks beautiful. And now the tide is coming in and it's going to destroy it. So for me, this is this idea that everything is impermanent. Nothing is forever. Everything eventually crumbles. Our bodies eventually crumble and we die. Everything that we, and this is kind of depressing, but also liberating. Like everything that we put effort into, everything that we build in life is going to go away at some point. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to crumble. And so if we focus on permanence, if we focus on this idea of things being permanent, then automatically perfectionism comes in. And we want that thing to be perfect. So when it comes to relationships, I think what we think is like, is this person my soulmate? Is this the person I'm meant to be with? And if it is the person I'm meant to be with forever and ever, well, they're not perfect. So what the hell? Or like, I don't feel the way I thought this would feel. Like that idea of perfectionism starts to come in and we start to feel dissatisfied with things. The 9 of Cups is saying, approach everything in life knowing that this is impermanent. This won't be there forever. So relationships, your physical body, your life, everything in life is impermanent. It's temporary. Everything is temporary and you're experiencing in it. your experience, your basically life is experiencing all these different things that are just temporary things. So life is a temporary experience. And I think if you bring that attitude to a relationship, it can actually make that relationship much more magical, right? It can make you appreciate that person more if you think, I am only going to be with this person for a short time. Even if you're with that person for the rest of your life, in the perspective of from the perspective of the universe and your soul, that's still a short period of time. So whether you're with that person for another week or 50 more years, that's still just a short period of time when we look at it through the eyes of existence, all of existence. So the Nine of Cups is kind of encouraging you to do that. So I don't know if that helps or if that makes sense. I'm just going to scroll down to see if you've added anything here. Let's see. No, you haven't. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting with that. I also feel like I'm drawn to the cat and the crab. And the cat and the crab, I don't know if they're playing with each other and there's playfulness, or if the cat is kind of bothering the crab, like teasing the crab a little bit. But there is this feeling of playfulness here. And I'm feeling like bringing the spirit of playfulness into your relationship may be really important. Are you able to do that with your partner? Is there a sense of playfulness? Are you able to tease each other a little bit and be kind of playful and not too serious? I think that, and this is a weird thing to say, but I feel like you might be taking relationships and life really seriously, and recognizing that everything is temporary might actually help you put things in perspective a little bit. So I don't know if that's helpful, but that's what I get from that card. So thank you so much for your question. Oh, and you said, amazing, thank you so much. Just what I did not know I needed to hear. Yay, that gives the good feelings inside. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, good. I'm so glad that resonated. Okay, so Danny baby, let's see. Can I get a card for my small business in October? I just started this month and I'm very passionate about it. Okay. I'm just going to give the cards a really good shuffle. Oh yeah, and Sky Tarot, you said maybe a Cancer energy in reference to the crab in that card. I like that. Yeah. Okay, what card does Danny baby need to see for her business? Two of Wands. Okay, nice card to get here. So the Two of Wands, this is about actually giving yourself a little time and a little space to decide where you're going to put your energy in your business. So this is a great card to get because you're just getting started. So if this is the Two of Wands, but if we go back to the Ace of Wands symbolizes having the idea for your business and taking the initial step in getting that business started. But now with the Two of Wands, you just got your business underway. It's just beginning. And the Two of Wands is about pausing and deciding, okay, where am I going to put my energy? Where am I going to focus my energy next in my business to begin? And kind of getting clear on that, like what should I be focusing on now? And I know when you start a new business, there's a whole bunch of stuff to focus on. So this is about really honing in and getting clear on where am I going to put my focus? Where am I going to put my energy in my business? I love the fact that, and I'm curious now if this is an online business or if there's a big online component, because the figure in this card is holding the world in his hands. And that makes me think of like the internet and connectivity and having a business that is kind of worldwide in a way, like an online kind of business. Like you can have a global reach with your business and the work that you do. It does encourage you to, this card does encourage you to think big and kind of expand your horizons a bit. And yay, Danny, you said it's an online business. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think that what this card is telling you is, and this is hard, but try not to get overwhelmed at all the things you need to do for your business and really get focused on, okay, what am I going to put my attention on? Like you may even like the first week of October, you might decide, okay, I'm really going to focus on this one thing in my business. And then the next week, it might be something else, but really picking kind of one thing at a time to really focus on. That might be really helpful for you. So that's what I get. But this is a nice card. This is saying you're on the right track. Things are going well. Yeah, things are going good. And good luck to you with your new business. That's really exciting. All right. So I'm going to pull one more card and then I'm going to go because I'm feeling myself getting a little tired. I feel like my mind is not as sharp as it was 20 minutes ago. The coffee that I just drank is wearing off. And believe it or not, I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Like, how stupid is that? That's so dumb. I intended to eat breakfast this morning before I started. But I slept in because I was really tired. I just didn't feel well and I was so tired. So I slept in quite late and then I just wasn't hungry. And then I was getting ready for this and I just didn't eat anything, which is really dumb. And I had 2 cups of coffee. So I feel unwell. I feel slightly unwell right now. Okay, so I'm going to draw one more card. All right. Okay, I'm going to go with something easy. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Thank you, Kate. I've really enjoyed my reading. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I'm glad I could read for you. Okay, I'm going to choose an easy one, and I'm going to go with Brittany because Brittany, you've been here since I started. Thank you so much for staying here the whole time, and thanks for everyone else who stayed here the whole time. So Brittany, I'm going to draw a card for you. Can I get a message for me right now? I say this is easy because this is like a general kind of read. Okay, so Brittany, the card you got, Temperance. All right, so Temperance is all about balance. And if you see what's going on in this card, the woman on this card she's balancing on one leg. She's doing her yoga. She has one eye open, one eye closed. And if you look at the table behind her, on one side, we have a martini and cupcakes, and it looks like the internet, her laptop. And then on the other side, we have a book, so wholesome, and a glass of ice water and carrots. So one side is kind of healthy, the other side is kind of trashy. And she's experiencing it all. She's doing it all because she's balanced. And the one eye closed and the one eye open, this is about balancing out, like being extroverted, going out into the world, having experiences, being aware of things. And then the one eye closed is about kind of going inward, paying attention to your inner state, what's going on within you, paying attention to your intuition, and balancing these two things out. Because sometimes I think we can get lost and we think that doing something in the extreme is better, but Temperance is saying it's not. So avoid the extremes. Don't try to be too healthy and eat health food all the time. You've got to let loose and, have a cupcake every once in a while. And, balance those two things out. That's what I'm getting. Walk the middle path. Strive for balance, not perfection. So don't try to be perfect in everything you do. That's the other thing I get. And I do think that Temperance is often associated with healing. And it's this idea that when you bring your body and your mind into a balanced state, when you achieve equilibrium, that is when healing can happen. And if the body is too hot or too cold or too tired, that's when things can go awry. That's when we can run into problems. So achieving homeostasis, achieving balance, that is kind of the optimal state for things. And that's also if you have certain goals and things that you're focused on, that's what will make those things doable, is if you are realistic and you focus on doing things that are achievable and realistic and not too extreme. So that is the message with temperance. And I feel like this is kind of a message for everyone here, including myself, because I think we sometimes forget this, um, is is to strive for balance, not perfection. And MJ, you said, I really feel like that tarot deck is so tempting to get it myself. Yeah, I love this tarot deck. It's the Everyday Witch Tarot. And the Everyday Witch Tarot is by Elizabeth Elba, does the art. And I'm just trying to think who, Debbie something, someone here will know who the creator of the Everyday Witch Tarot is. Oh God, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's Debbie something. All right. So that was the last reading. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me today. For everyone who asked questions, thank you. And I apologize if I didn't pick your question, if I didn't give you a reading, I'm sorry. But I am going to do this again in a month. So hopefully I can give you a reading at some point. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm just going to scroll up the comments to see if there was any like non-reading questions or comments. And I just want to say good luck, everyone, for the month of October. I'm super excited for October. It's one of my favorite months. I absolutely love October. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like scrolling up to see if there's any other comments or questions that I'm going to read out loud. Oh, Elle, you said I recommend oregano oil to fight off incoming sickness. Yeah, I used to use oregano oil, and I never really felt like it did much for me. I prefer echinacea or even like ginseng. I feel has been really helpful. Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna sign off now. So once again, thanks everyone for being here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you're watching, please subscribe. It really helps me. Click the notifications bell and you'll be notified next time I go live or next time I have some kind of special workshop or event. And thanks everyone for being here. And I hope your October is magical and wonderful and full of wonderful things. See you later.